So the first part of the job is to dismantle the clocks with a view to inspecting the printed circuit board and also treating it with WD-40 because before we start removing any or replacing any components, we want to be sure that the existing printed circuit board is free of moisture and any other contaminants that might be shorting out components on the board or affecting the way the circuitry works. So first thing I notice is that this has been opened before because the tamper seal has been tampered with, released. Just something to note. So if we take the backs off first, just pry these clips off. I've actually been round and unclipped a fair few of them before anyway. And then we place all the bits that we take off on our trays. So you see our trays laid out here. That's where all our components are going to go. I need to do the same thing with so there we've got the back of the clocks, and we also need to access the other side, partly because that needs addressing. The tachometer is reading the wrong reading, so if we just clip on clips. So just work your way around. Some of these are a bit obscurely positioned. Okay, right. Okay, so now we've removed the front of the clocks and we're going to put them on a tray. Get those out of the way. And we're left with this bit here. Now I'm going to put some gloves on at this point, because the last thing I want to do is get any kind of mark on the cards here. So if we get our gloves on, and then we can start removing the dials. So literally just pull them off so they've got like a little cover over them. Okay, so I'm going to use a cloth to protect the card, and I'm going to use this pry tool and just gently try and get this up. There we go. Again, use the cloth to protect the surface of the clocks. Right, and then we've got this bit, so again we've got to unclip this cover. And then we've removed that bit and exposed the fuel gauge and temperature gauge. It's probably a good idea at this point to take a photograph of the position of the clocks in their resting position. Because it can be hard to work it out afterwards. There we go, one. And two. So we've got all the dials off, and then we just remove the printed sheet very, very carefully, and we can touch this and there won't be any marks. I can guarantee you if you touch this sheet without gloves on, you are going to mark it, and the marks will be really hard to get off, so don't even go there. Right, we're now left with this bit, the front of the clocks, and we need to remove these ribbon cables, so I'm going to very gently pry these connectors out. So we slide them out, release, and then just pull the cable, the ribbon connector out. Slide this catch out. So this is the catch that locks the ribbon cable in place. Slide that out, okay. And then also you'll notice that these are locking this display module in place. So I don't know if you can see there, you've got these metal pieces that are twisted so that they stop this moving in and out. So we can just twist them and push this out. That's being a pest. Cool, so we've got that off, got the cover off, got that off. We're going to put that back in the cover in the orientation that we removed it, and place it face down on our storage tray. There we go, so that's what things are looking like at the moment. We've made everything out as it needs to go back together. And the next bit is just to remove the printed circuit board from this housing. So you can see there's a bunch of clips here that need to be released. So we'll work our way around. If you maintain a little bit of pressure on the printed circuit board, not too much because you obviously don't want to damage it. Right, and then we've got that bit of casing and the printed circuit board completely exposed now. I'll put that over there for storage. And here is our printed circuit board ready to work on. You'll notice that we've got the motor drives for the actual instruments there. You can see the pin. Those are really delicate, so you don't want to be touching those. So we've got one there, one there, one there, and then one there. So we've got speedometer, tachometer, temperature gauge, and fuel gauge. And then on this side of the printed circuit board, we've got a bunch of LEDs just for lighting, backlighting the display. On this side, we've got our connector, we've got a sounder for various alarms, we've got the motors that drive the temperature gauge, and we have over here we have a regulator rectifier chip, and here we have some digital analog converter components which presumably drive these motors. And yeah, that's basically, well, the main circuitry components that drive the clocks. Okay.